Salakia. I had it on Do Not Disturb on this phone. It's going to have to be a part two. But the phone call interrupted the screen recording anyway, man. These fucking phones, man. Excuse my French. It's like, what is the point of upgrading these technologies and the things still don't work, man? You know? And it's telemarketers, man. All right? Goodness gracious, man. Anyway, back to the point, you know? They took these fathers up out of the home, all right, because they knew that you were going to be a prey, man. See, when they start taking these fathers up out of the home, it's because they know, okay? They know that you're a prey. That's the first sign right there that they're getting ready to move on you, okay? Look, it says in Job 24, verse 1, why seeing the times are not hidden from the Almighty, do they that know him not see his days? Some remove landmarks. They violently take away flocks and feed thereof. Who took away all of the landmarks, man? All right. These are the same people. That's why, the amazing Lucas has a great term for him called the lineage of evil. Okay. And that's true. Okay. He's speaking like a Hebrew Israelite, which he doesn't believe, but you know, his antennas are working at least on that danger is nearby, that the serpent is close. Okay. All right. Kind of like in Dragon Ball Z, they can kind of sense power levels and key energy away, and Naruto as well. Okay. But the rest of y'all are asleep, man. Okay. The moment he started telling Keisha she don't need her man, you should have known right there. Your kids were up next, man. And what happened? You got niggas selling crack at 8, 9 years old, man. Okay. Verse 3, it says they drive away the ass of the fatherless. Okay. They take a widow's ox for a pledge. Okay. So they spoiled our women, man. And they're raising straight up monsters, degenerates, man. And then they point back and laugh and say, look at these niggers. Look at these crime rates. Look at them selling drugs. While the whole time they were setting it up, they were supplying the guns, they were supplying the drugs. They were the one that broke up the home. They passed the legislation so Keisha could just take welfare instead of having a man. Okay? They put billions and billions and billions of dollars into marketing and movies and television shows and magazines and most recently social media, telling you you're empowered by doing this. All right? And this is the result, man. I always get this precept. Genesis 3. And 4, it says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For the Most High doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Okay? This philosophy has not changed. It may have changed names. Okay? It may have gone under different banners of different deities and different things of that nature, like Do As Thou Wilt and Aleister Crowley and all of that. But it's the same demon, man. That old serpent. And now when you fast forward, going back to Job 24 and 4, it says they turn the needy out of the way. The poor of the earth hide themselves together. Okay? And now you got ICE raids all up in Jake's neighborhood, man. Because the Northern Kingdom got shoehorned up here into Jake's neighborhoods willingly a long time ago, and most recently when they just they didn't just open the borders recently back in like 2020. They set up a plan and operation to move people here, man. Okay? And now you're all and now Trump is passing laws and legislations now to say that, hey, even if they were born here, we're thinking about kicking them out. which he ain't thinking about it. He's already decided to do it. Okay? This is what we have. Matthew 12 and 29. Get it real quick. Try to make this quicker. Matthew 12 and 29. Or else how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man? Then he will spoil his house. So you already know. Okay? Once they get him out the house, that's a wrap. Your household is a prey. We need Yahweh Shai to get the hell up out of here. And that's why the Lord is going to utterly jack up everybody that wants to extend this place, man.
What they love to do is project. It's a form of gaslighting that they have mastered over time. Because as I said before, this lineage of evil comes here to kill, steal, and destroy. What have they done? What number one on the checklist? Number one on the checklist. What did they do in Minnesota? That's what they did. And it's unfortunate because what the conversation, what the discourse will look like 99.9% of the time. I'll bet my life on it. I'm not even a betting man, but this bet I would take. You're going to have two sides. You're going to have people, it's mental health. It's mental health. People have mental health problems and we've got to address it.
How do we stop this? Obviously, we have a mental health crisis in this country. We need to deal with it.
That's what they're going to say, bro. That's what the Republicans say all the time. They coddle the white men. They coddle their white ignorance. That's what they do all the time. And what happens is nothing gets solved because they don't do anything for mental health, right? They don't do anything for white males. What they do is they gaslight them. That's what they do. They gaslight them and tell them, you're perfect, little Timmy. It's not you, it's them. It's the blacks. That's why you have mental health issues. It's the CRT that they're teaching in schools. That's why you have the white guilt and you feel bad about yourself and you're mentally, it's them. And what happens?
Yeah, and Trump is about to see to it that the CRT is not a thing. Okay, they don't want you critically thinking. They want to tell you what to think. Okay? As it says in Job 9 and 24, it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who runs the earth right now? Okay? So what does that mean if they run the earth? That tells you who the wicked is. Okay? It says he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. All right? And the judges are the Israelites, man. Okay? The prophets. Okay? It says, if not, where and who is he? Okay? You see? So this guy is obviously him. Okay? And it's not going to say the white man in the Bible because this ain't for everybody to understand. Understand the Lord don't want everybody, which means everybody ain't going to understand. The majority of people ain't going to get it.
Black people are going, what is up, what? And what happens to little Timmy? Little Timmy goes on in this world thinking that he's perfect, thinking that he's flawless. They have revised the history books to protect little Timmy's frail ego. Damn. And little Timmy starts to get into the real world. And he understands now that he has to compete. Little Timmy has never competed in his life. His grandparents didn't compete. His parents' didn't compete. Because little Timmy comes from a lineage of evil. So little Timmy starts to realize.
Yeah, they don't compete, man. Okay? They pretend like they're moral. Okay? They'll sign a treaty with you. But what are they thinking about the whole time? Okay? What are they thinking about the whole time? Let me get that in Sirach real quick. Because they didn't have to compete, man. All they had to do was lean on that blessing, the sword. Okay? And they rigged everything. Okay? That's why Esau is allowed to have a monopoly over something. But he set up antitrust laws against monopolies for what? In case a nigga got a hold of something. That's why. See? He has no problem with all of these banks being owned by a certain group. Okay? Or all of the copper is owned by a certain group. Okay? Revelation 12. I'm going to go down to verse 12. I know we go 10 a lot, verse 10 a lot, but verse 12 says, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. And that's what he did. He covered the faces of the judges, and then he proclaimed himself to be there, at least a sect of them there. Goodness gracious, boy, she's shaking. Salakia. It says, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at last remember my words and be pricked therewith. See, Gad didn't take heed to this. Okay? You can't sign a treaty with this nigga. He can't be reasoned with. Okay? He can't even tell you why he's got such a hard on for blood and destruction. But the Lord made him that way. Okay? I'm going to skip down. Verse 16, it says, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. And that's what it was the whole time, man. When he came over here breaking bread with the Native Americans, he was not ever intending on sharing anything with you. As a matter of fact, the Pope already told them they could have rights to take all of the Western Hemisphere. Okay? So any treaty that they signed with the Native American was bullshit off a rip. All right. It says he will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. And that was Esau, man. That's why I read that first precept in Genesis, man. Because that's who this is talking about, man, ultimately. Or that spirit. Okay? Those spirits. Esau loves to cry and play victim now. But just like a woman, they weaponize victimhood, man. Okay? It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. All right? And this is what you had in the civil rights era, man. I'm gonna give y'all freedom. I'm gonna give y'all rights, but what was he doing? Plotting to undermine you, man. This is why your family structure went down. It didn't go up. It was better at Jim Crow. You see? You think he was giving you a handout and that you free now. That is low level. Okay? You ain't free, man. You're free to make him money. Okay? You're free to sit your ass down somewhere. Okay? You're free to believe you're a black man. That's what you're free to do. Okay? You're free to be a scapegoat, for everything that's wrong with this place, which everything is wrong with this place. So you're going to get blamed first, Jake.
I say he's inadequate. That, the black kid runs faster. The Asian kid is smarter than me. The Latino kid catches language easier than me. Little Timmy starts to realize
severely, let's say, compromised in a multitude of areas. And then he tries to go for his girl, right? Tries to get girls. And he realizes the girls aren't really attracted to him. Because little Timmy's frail. Little Timmy doesn't know how to talk. Little Timmy's socially awkward. And that's not what they go for. They usually go for the athlete. All right? They usually go for the cool guy. And little Timmy starts to get into depressed mode. And little Timmy starts to take it out on the world. Because it's the world's fault. It's never little Timmy's fault. Because little Timmy has been told since he was a knee-high to duck that little Timmy, if you're perfect, you're good, you're A-OK, it's the blacks. And really, little Timmy, it's the Jews. Those.
Well, that's actually correct, even though he's being facetious here. That is actually factual, okay? What you have is a civil war going on, okay? The nature of the Edomite male or people is self-destructive, okay? He doesn't know how to rule, okay? Going to Sirach 10, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man of the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. Okay, I should have just went to verse 3. It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. So he's giving up his own people, man. Okay, but he's correct on everything else. Esau's not going to take responsibility for the things that he's done. Okay, he's going to blame everybody else. And Lyndon Bain Johnson, which Bain means death. Okay, he said it. He said, as long as you give them black people to look down on, they won't. The poor whites will not notice that we're picking their pocket. Okay, I'm roughly paraphrasing what he said, but he said that. Okay, so they planned on abandoning you all the way back in the civil rights era. Them small hats, they took over, man. JFK was the last so-called Edomite president that tried to, beat on their chest and fly the flag of the eagle. Now it's the blue and white flag now. Okay? Ever since out of World War II, the OSS turned into the CIA and all of that, them alphabet agencies, and they took over, man. And JFK in the '63, when he got put down, that was the siren around the world of who's in charge in the deep state, so to speak. Okay? And that's when you got your civil rights movement, and it all went this particular direction. And Lyndon B. Johnson knew this, man. Okay? He was set up by those people. Okay? To basically abandon their own people. Okay? They put you low-level white people in the same bucket as Jake, man. Okay? And ever since then, the middle class has been getting shorter and squeezed more and more, and the rich have been getting richer and richer and richer. Okay? And what they'll do is they'll put a few tokens up in the upper echelon. A so-called black will be a billionaire here or there. They'll put you on TV or there to play the facade that anybody can make it. But really, it's run by one fixed group of people, man. Okay? And that's why Esau's kingdom is going to fall, because it's divided, as Yahushua said. Okay?
Those are the people that are the problems in your life. It's not you. You've done nothing wrong. We've done nothing wrong. That's why the country tries to attack us. We just try to help this country. We built this country, and our ancestors built this country. But they just want to do anti-white racism. But it's okay, little Timmy. You'll be fine. And that's what little Timmy's been told. Now little Timmy is going in his head. Oh, this is horrible. Oh, the blacks. Oh, man, this is going on. I can't even get a girlfriend. And little Timmy has been raised in a culture, because y'all know how they love to talk about black culture. Oh, it's the culture problem. That's what it is, y'all. You have to understand, it's a culture problem. And then the real racists, what they want to say, oh, it's the IQ problem. They're just low IQ. It just is what it is. Low IQ, high testosterone, low impulse control. It's a recipe for disaster. In the meantime, between time, while they're spending all this energy on black people, little Timmy is going to the firing range. And little Timmy doesn't look too good. Little Timmy's walking like this, talking to himself. Little Timmy's taking guns, right? Because his daddy showed him how to do guns, because they're all about my Second Amendment.
Let me get this. Leave this in Psalms. Psalms 58:3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Okay, their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. Okay, so they don't care. Okay, they don't care that they're wicked, man. Okay, they believe what they believe because it benefits them. This is why all of these so-called white people still feel entitled to living here, even though they know how they got this land. Okay, they know how they got this land, but they heard the talking points. They heard Columbus discovered America, and the Native Americans were savages, and the blacks were just low IQ and prone to violence and blah, 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 blah. They'll know deep down, because they've met Jake. They've met these people. But they still will convince themselves of these things, because believing the alternative brings an uncomfortable truth that they cannot bear, which they have no business being here. Okay, all of this land is stolen. All of the wealth has to be paid back, man, from stolen labor. Okay? They didn't earn these things through upright means. Okay, they didn't trade for it. They didn't buy it. Okay, they used rape, robbery, murder, intimidation, deception to get everything that they've gotten. Okay, and now they're acting like they're on some kind of high horse. Okay.
The Second Amendment shall not be infringed. And little Timmy's learning how to fire his 9. He's learning how to fire his AR. Little Timmy's learning about defensive maneuvers, defensive tactics. Oh, this is a smoke grenade? Oh, okay. Oh, you that. Little Timmy's, just sitting at home, taking in all this culture, right? All of his culture. Just so we're clear. Just so we're clear. We got nothing to do with this. Eventually, little Timmy goes off, okay? Little Timmy goes off because he's realized, well, I should be doing this, but that's not what's happening, all right? And it's...
And what backs this up is the fact that they know if they get caught or have to sit in front of a judge, they got a pretty good chance of getting off or getting some kind of mercy. Okay? They know this when they go and do these things, man. Okay? See, if you were a 14-year-old and you shot up a school, hey, yo ass, we getting the rocks in the ancient world. Okay? But they'll make up all of these excuses. Oh, he was disturbed. Okay? And the parents knew. These Edomite parents, they knew. But they don't parent their kids. They don't even spank them. They just let them go wild. Okay? You know this nigga, he destroyed the whole house. He broke shit through plates. He hit his teacher. The neighbor's dog then went missing. You know what happened to that dog. Okay? And you let him sit in that room and and listen to heavy death metal. All right? And then act like he ain't gonna be a problem. No. This guy has got to go. Okay? All of y'all. Okay? Habakkuk 2:4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. And we are the just, okay? I don't care what narrative you paint in the news. We are the innocent, especially compared to the current people in rulership, okay? You can put as many 2/3 on camera as you want, doing all kind of wickedness, but you put that bottle to them. You did. As a matter of fact, if I go down, that's the spirit. As a matter of fact, if I go down to verse 15, it says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink and putteth thy bottle to him. Where did he get gang culture from? Where did he get all these drugs from and these guns? Okay? Why is our music now littered with death and adultery? Because you chose which artist to sign, what lyrics get approved, what beats and music get approved. And you pay Jake a tiny percentage of it. Okay? It says, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. This is what y'all did, man. So you got to take responsibility. Niggas are your problem, Esau. Ain't our problem. You made niggas, man. Okay? Niggas are a creation of the so-called white man. All right? And now he's crying. Now he's about to have a reason to roll on all of us. And if you don't have Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai in these days coming up, the evil days that are coming, all right, you're going to be through out here. So I'm going to end it there. Lord willing, this is edifying. On to the next.